So hello and welcome to another episode of BeamNG.Rally, and it's the last episode of this month. Not really, because one is releasing on the Monday, but anyway, it's the last episode for this month because I categorize from here on out each month as a season, and it goes till the last Sunday, where we'll be releasing a special video summarizing the fastest cars, because it's the first season. It will be the cars in the lead and other things. So check out this video for this, subscribe to my channel, and let's get rolling. So our first vehicle will be the ETK 4100 Rally. Yes, that's again a modded car, as all of my last episodes, and yes, it's a rare track. Now this mod offers also a 600 version, which has another rear X, but I've decided, because it's even hard to drive this thing onto the bridge, to go with the shorter one, because here you see I'm just failing to get even on the bridge, and here I'm rolling it over and just parking the truck. Yeah, here a little bit farther into the canyon, getting a little bumpy and then rolling the thing. But the tracking channel was relatively easy to drive. Yes, you will be doing many shifts up, because it's a truck gearbox and you're shifting a lot. When you're not sliding down a hill at only a few kilometers per hour. I mean, I could walk parallel to this. Okay, not anymore. I think 30 kilometers is a little bit much less. I could sprint, and finally the truck rolls again onto wheels to roll again on its roof. Yeah, that's like the most interesting thing ever, but the truck is relatively funny how it rolls down its hill, or more slides just, and then finally comes to rest in the banking of the corner. Now first corner a little bit running wide, and then just rolling the truck, not going off the cliff, but still keeping the truck under control. Not rolling again, first corner running wide, this time really rolling onto the right and going down this canyon. Now of course this truck is so long that it can just wedge itself between bridge. Again, killer corner, claims another victim. This case, it's basically the truck rolling over itself. Because of the truck and has a high center of mass, it's relatively easy to roll. But I really thought when I drove this is relatively easy to drive, even though it crashed it now a few times. Here, going for a wheelie, and it's sliding sideways in the pyramid, just rolls to the side. Yeah, not that ideal, but still keeping it on the top side. Again, second corner, going onto the bridge, and then just being a little bit wrong and driving, then hitting a pillar. Here, way too much sideways. The truck going for a, what is it called when you're doing a wheelie with the front, or a stoppie? I think it's called stoppie, and then hitting the bump here way too fast, and then just going into a drift onto the bridge, but still hitting it, and then just making a mistake and driving way too far to the left. But then going for the successful run. As you see, you need to shift many times up this thing, like a lot of times. You're going down to the second gear and first. Really careful going down here, because it's high mass. Not only a high center of mass, because it's a truck, it has a high mass, and you need to still getting this thing slowed down. Now it's really slow over the bridge, only a few, like 40 kilometers per hour. Going up the hill, but yeah, it isn't really fast. I had a feeling it was fast when I drove it, but it could be that mass also manipulates your feeling about speed. Could be, maybe. It could explain why a pigeon feels so slow. Probably. I mean, sure, but that's like completely bogs what I just said. Anyway, moving here, going up to 4th gear. I think this thing has a 16-way gearbox. It's just ludicrously insane if you think about it. Driving around here, the bump just doesn't really exist for the truck. It's a truck. It just takes it and ignores it. Going to this corner, up to 80 kilometers per hour, but then slowing down. And when it's up to speed, it's fast, but just getting this thing up to speed is not easy. I'm actually thinking about taking the 6-wheel version down here, or the D series, aka the full truck. I think it's called the D series. The American truck that BeamNG has standard in here, because that's a model truck, of course. That's a truck from mod that you can, of course, as always, download it in the description. Like, because I always, when I don't forget it. I mean, always could happen that I forget it. Now, going into this corner, shifting down to 1st gear, making a stoppie again. Going into the corner, very slow. The bumps, again, a little bit. But the truck doesn't really catch. Just drives over it, and I don't care. I'm a truck. I don't care. Running a little bit wide in this corner, and then going to the final corner. A little bit of drift, and then going over the finish line. Yes, the truck has done it. I mean, sure enough, going for celebrating donuts is really easy because it has a lot of power, but it weighs a lot as well. So that isn't really ideal with this truck. So trying to go for celebrating donuts only results in rolling a truck at some point. But I think rolling the truck is, in a way, more successful than making donuts. Now we're driving the Sunburst E. Yes, a modded version of the Sunburst, which is completely electric. And it comes with default with a off-road version. Now, not with the other mod, which adds off-road version also to the Sunburst. Well, the Sunburst has a rally version, which is very likely better than that, because we saw what the bolide is. And to get the Sunburst at least flagged on a tree, which is really funny. Now, this electric Sunburst shows every power the electricity has, in this case. Just running way too fast and then rolling it. But yes, the Sunburst was relatively well composed, except when I drove it like more into a wall. But yeah, here again, a little bit fast. It looks like completely other world when you're switching from the truck to a Sunburst, because that thing is just a car from a truck which moves way faster. Now here, rolling the thing over the pyramid again and then parking it. Yes, that's here again in the canyon, going down here, opening the back, so at least every refugee that we floated can flee out of the car while we're rolling down here. Then getting the thing finally parked in some position. Again, going down a little bit, the back wants to overtake it. I mean, it's a general theme with nearly every car, except you're throwing a truck down here. But then a truck makes something else, like I'm driving too far to the right and then smacking it down a ravine. I mean, I'm doing this with this car as well, but at least the truck doesn't the back of the truck doesn't try to overtake it. And fire doesn't develop, because there's a little bit of fire going on. Yeah, fire. Now for the successful run, because the car was relatively easy, as I said, to control. It was, I think, the forward. There were many versions for the sunburst in this electric car mod. You had 4-wheel drive versions, you have 3-wheel drive versions, you had different configuration of electric engines. It just was like, you couldn't swap out these parts, by the way. It was like kind of stupid. Or at least I didn't find a way. Now, as said, it's electric car, it doesn't make much noise, but it was fast as hell, because here going up to 100 kilometers per hour over these bumps, nearly losing it, going over this hill, accelerating again, going over here, then over 100 kilometers per hour. Yes, that thing just, it's the condenser on steroids with a rear suspension for. What I find slightly irritating on these off-road versions is why you would remove the doors. Sure enough, you would want no windows because they could fly in very easily and injure you, but doors in general could protect you from rocks flying in, so yeah, that could be useful. Going down here, 70 kilometers per hour up to going to this turn. A little the bumps unsettle the car, and the back end wants to go away, but it's very settled because all-wheel drive, very useful for cars. Here, running a little bit too wide, which cost this car a little bit of seconds that could have actually brought it into the lead of the whole pack. This thing was fast, and here I'm just rolling the thing. Because fuck it, I'm always rolling cars on its roof. Yeah, because I can. So for the times, the Sunburst E Off-Road goes into 3rd place, beating the Corvettes with nearly 5 seconds, needing 1 minute 54 seconds and 260 milliseconds to complete the track. And in the successful run, of course, and needing only 9 tries to get down. Now, the 4100 rally was just slow with 2 minutes, 41 seconds, and 700 milliseconds, but only needing 11 tries, so kind of good. But still, it's last place in place 16. And as you realize, the tableau is now so large that I can't put it on one screen. I could scale it down, but that wouldn't make it easier to read. I mean, generally, it's hard to read. Just be honest with me, it's just hard to read. I will swap out the background for something else, because you can't read this shit. Yeah, not good. Anyway, as said, look out for Sunday when I will be publishing the summary video of these first 16 runs, and otherwise just look out for Monday, where I will be driving down this track 2 different versions of the Pigeon. I've driven already once, which is the drag version, but we will be driving down there 2 other versions. Completely 2 other different versions of the Pigeon, and that will be fun, I guess. So make sure you don't miss these two videos by subscribing to my channel and following me on Minds or joining my Telegram channel. Links below in the description. Up to the next episode.